friends, and welcome to this class. We're going to paint this poppy looser than normal. And I already shared like test piece. For the salmons, let's use a little bit of masking. This is like an old brush I don't care about. I only like toward the salmon. So this is very quick because some of these stamens are highlighted. This is my color palette. So I have, this is cobalt blue, phthalo blue. I should have some more of the indigo. Van Dyke brown, burnt sienna, quin red, pearl ruben, bright rose. You don't need that many colors. You can completely like change the color palette if you want to. Amy Desalon yellow, sap green, and hooker's green. So it's really up to you. So please don't stress about matching colors. So you want to wet everything but this bud here. So keep that paper dry if you can. So this is my flat Da Vinci 40 brush, so Casanel, and I'm going to start wetting the paper. So I'm getting a lot of water here, water. And this is a rough watercolor paper, so I have to be really like mindful of the fact that the paint will spread more than on cold pressed. So what I'm going to do is grab my thick wide flat brush. This is my 24 Da Vinci Casanel. I'm gonna make sure the brush is clean. I'm dipping it in water. There you go. And I'm going to start by grabbing some of this cobalt blue and bright rose actually. Very quick grab, so I'm not like trying to mix the colors on the palette. And this is basically like whatever I see a little bit like of those highlights. And you might see that bluish, like purplish tone. You can add it around the bud. So this is my Amy Desalon yellow. And I'm going to grab some of this pearl red, maybe some pearl ruben too. So the reason I grab yellow is I can see that yellow over here. But then it's like I didn't like try to mix these colors on my palette. It's like a quick grab, right? Just like this. And I feel like I do need a little more water. I'm trying to have more like a milk to half and half like ratio just because this is a rough watercolor paper. So you're shaping your petals, you're just applying these colors toward the petals. And the idea is to mix the colors on the paper, not your palette. I'm grabbing now like bright rose, pearl ruben as well. And yeah, this is more like a half and half like ratio, I'd say. So a lot of times, most of the times, I'll go with like a milk like ratio, but this is a little different as I'm shaping these petals. So nothing is perfect. We can tell nothing is perfect here because it's like paint is spreading, but this is just the beginning. And then pearl ruben, quinacridone red, bright rose. So it feels more like half and half. Sometimes I feel like I'm grabbing heavy cream, but it all depends from the areas, how much I want, the intensity of colors. So I'm kind of like looking for the petals and what else can I add a petal? Maybe here, there's some of these poppies in there as well. Oh, there's a poppy there. I'm gonna use some of this pearl red, ruben. I actually squeezed way too much paint on my palette. It's okay. Well, I don't like to waste paint, so I'm just gonna have to paint another one of these or something similar. Because reds are like it's very specific, like they're very intense colors, these colors that I have here. So I'm not done here yet. I just need to quickly maybe grab this brush. This is my round 8 golden 2. And just to grab, let's see what I want is some of the cobalt blue. I need a little more water, so it's more like a half and half. Cobalt blue and some of this bright rose. Actually, what I need is green because green is a complementary color to red. So if I have shadows, I would need naturally a green, shade of green. So I'm going to grab actually the same blend, which is the cobalt blue, bright rose, and then a shade of green. And you're mixing colors on the paper. So don't forget that, because if you spend too much time mixing colors on your palette, you just create a different shade, like a new shade. Okay, that's fine. But the thing is, colors get muddy very quickly, the watercolors, and you want to make sure you can show different colors and shades, and you don't want that muddiness. So this is between half and half and darker. So let's see over here. This is just my round 8. So it's a smaller brush. Yes, I have way more control, but I wouldn't use it for like painting like a full petal like this. It's just, this is for the edges, for example. Just to separate the petals, because we also need to separate the petals. So for example, like here we have this petal, it's shadowed. So let's grab some of this bright rose, some of this cobalt blue here, and then some of the green as well. And then let's create some of these shadows. So it would be like right along this, we would have a petal. This is creamy paint. Well, it's more like heavy cream to cream top. So you don't want to use too fast like the creamy paint, because then that would dry out the paper. So you have to feel it out, find that balance. Like, how wet is your paper? Mine is still shiny wet, and continue painting the, or not, I haven't even started, but the foliage. So there's my imidazolone yellow. I'm gonna try with half and half like ratio first. This already dried though. And then there's my sap green. This is way too dry. There you go, something like this. And find the leaves. Well, there's leaves everywhere, but I guess what I mean by it is like you're trying to recreate some of them using colors, and later we're just gonna use the negative technique to actually paint that, or separate them to form the actual leaves. So you're going to work with yellow, blue, green, basically. But right now, it's really important to cover as many areas as you can, and you have to adjust the ratio, because right now this was too much water and it's gonna bleed toward my petal, and that's gonna just create a bloom. So this is like a heavy cream, I'd say here, and more of the yellow. I don't want to go too dark, but this like kind of allows me to shape it. And then I just grabbed some of the blue as well, just to change the shade of my green, the petal. And you don't need to like cover all of these areas, but I do need slightly more water. So it's something like between half and half, and heavy cream is actually grabbing a little bit of red from here. For example, quinacridone red into your green, and then some blue for the shadows. So we're starting to like shape some of these leaves. This is not like the negative technique yet. We're just adding like early shadows, just so we have something more to work with. And then you have the stems. So we have the stems here too. And then to separate some of my leaves. So I need way more red, more water. And I'm going to come back here and here, because I need the shadows. And that's what will help me also, like that will guide me through like later on too, when I'm gonna be painting some of these leaves. So maybe shadow here. This is a poppy here. And I was thinking like, how am I gonna paint it loosely, like, or is it gonna be more detailed? And I decided I'm just gonna make it really loose, but I don't want to go too loose, because after I shared the images of the poppies, like different poppies that I painted, I think you prefer something in the middle. So this is, I think, something more in the middle. All right, I'm cleaning my brush. And just look for like the leaves. Look for the leaves. And then try to add the shadows wet on wet only. So don't work wet on dry, because we will do that later. So this is all wet on wet that I'm doing now. And I'm just looking for the most shadows. I actually do want to lift too to create some of these petals, or I'm sorry, the veins over the leaves if I can. This is too dry. So let's walk away from it and let it dry. So first I'm going to focus like on this area, because that's how I have a camera actually set up here. So for example, where do I see a leaf? Like any leaf. I did create some leaves wet on wet, but I want to accent them more. What will help is creating shadows around it. So let's say this one. I like the color of it, right? And I already added some veins, let's say. So how would I do that? You would grab a softer brush, and what you would do is grab some colors. So you can grab like, let's say yellow, green right away. Should be a little more diluted with water, the paint. And then we're going to add shadows too. Some of the other colors I grabbed too. So for example, this one, right? So I'm going to start shaping it by painting the background. So there's a lot of leaves, right? That's the beauty about the negative technique. You can keep coming back and keep adding more and more leaves if you want to. But here's an example how I'm going to shape this one. And then I'm thinking like I want to also have this nice petal here. So I'm just going to shape it. There's another leaf right here, right? So I'm going to work on it later. Or I can at the same time just go in between and just paint this section. So now, shadows. Red plus green creates a shade of brown, but also green is complementary to red. Red is complementary to green, and that's what you would use to create natural shadows. So now we're going to do this again. I'm holding my round edge. But this time you're just adding colors toward like closer toward this part. And then if we're shaping already this leaf, we can also add a shadow here. So we're shaping this one as well. And then for this part, I'm going to grab some more red and just kind of finish it this way. I'm going to clean the brush, and I'm going to show you from this side. I'm going to grab some blue as well, so you keep mixing colors, mostly on your paper. Yes, paper. There's my leaf right here. And then just to water, for example. If you're not sure what you're going to do next, just use water like this. So you let that to bleed. So for example, I'm just going to do it just so you can see it. I'll work on this leaf later. But you can just use a wet brush and let that color to spread. So now I just uncovered a leaf, right? Now I should add a little shadow. So there's my browns, or brown. The brown is red and green. So for example, and that's when you go in a little bit to shape that leaf. But then you have a little like shadow, and it just makes more sense. You have to have shadows. Next one, where do I see another shadow? Let's say I want to accent this one. So some color here. So I'm finding this one. I can finish it right away, like go all the way around, or just leave it this way. But that's my leaf right there. And then I'm gonna grab a clean brush, my round 8, just water. And I'm letting it to bleed. And I'm gonna do the same thing on this side, just water. Now I just found another leaf, right? But I want shadows too. So red and some of that green, getting closer, even blue, whatever it is, you're just adding new colors, and it just makes it like right away, like you're finding your leaf. And here I'm just going back actually, because I want to accent this right away. So there's another leaf I just found. Okay, so I have this leaf. Actually, I'm going to add some color here. I have this one, I have this one, I have this one. I could uncover this one. So a little more red. And then just water. So there's another leaf right there. There you go. Now this was a little wet, so I shouldn't have probably jumped in that fast, but it doesn't matter. Water. So I separated this from this. Let's say this is actually a big leaf. I could make it a big leaf, but I'm going to leave it just the way it is, just to keep things simple, because less is better, and just follow your own instincts. So anyway, thank you so much for your time, and please let me know if you have any questions.